Hey, welcome back to Blackphoenix Entertainment. Let's talk about all my mods, modding a Spyder, and how my Spyder's running right now with everything I've done. Basically, an update on everything I've literally done to this Spyder. See you on the other side of the intro. So, here we are, finally. And I say this, but those who know, the Spyder is done. I've pretty much maxed out everything I could probably possibly do, short of breaking open the actual motor and changing out internal parts. So that being said, let's talk about everything. Probably the most obvious thing would be Cosmetic. You look at this Spyder and you're like, wow, that is one amazing looking machine. Yes, it's a full wrap, full custom wrap from Spiralist Designs. I also asked him for extra material because his full wrap didn't actually cover everything, like the side pods and stuff like that. So I was like, would you give me some extra material so I may fully wrap this Spyder? He was totally cool with it. He said, okay, here you go. So shout out to that guy just for that. He didn't have to do that. He didn't even charge me anything for it. So, you know, that's always good when companies do stuff like that for you, and I don't mind giving you guys a free shout out. The other one big cosmetic thing is LED lights, which really, a day like today, bright sunlight, no clouds, nothing. No point in putting them on. But at night, as you can see here by a couple shots, yeah, it definitely makes you more visible, and that's really why I did it. And I know there are going to be some people, oh, you can't ride with those on, blah, blah, blah. You know, the internet police will come along. I don't care. I really don't. And in this city, specifically where I ride in, the police have much, much better things to do than to pull over a bike that's got some LEDs on it. So, you know, that is what it is. But yeah, I think it matches great. It's I'll put a link to the video where I put the install here. I can change the colors, do all that. I can make it strobe, all that fun stuff. But with the colors that it has, I really think the green pops. There's some other couple little things, like as you can see my fender lights there. The RS doesn't come stock with those. That's actually an add-on that bolts right into the parking indicators on the edges of the fenders. So that was actually a pretty easy thing to do. It was one of the first things I did, actually, because I noticed this. I'm like, I need to be lit up more. Another cosmetic thing, I guess I could say, is this windshield right here, this windscreen. The stock Spyder came with a real short one, like pretty much non-existent. It was just basically, it didn't do anything at all. It was just there for show. So it's like, I needed a little something more, especially because I do some highway driving and stuff like that. So this one's perfect enough just to keep all the wind really off my body, you know, for those longer trips. And it's tinted, so it looks, you know, gives it that cool little smoke look to it, and kind of adds to the whole theme of the bike there. So good stuff. As far as cosmetics go, I think really the only other big thing I could possibly do is swap the rims out. Really, you know, for front rims, these are still the stock 2013 RS rims, but for me, I don't know, that would be something that I would only do if I got a ridiculous deal on something, or if a company said, you know, hey, here are some rims, why don't you try them out, or something like that, then I would. But other than that, I don't, I wouldn't really go out of my way to get some rims. But yeah, I mean, look at it. I mean, from where it was to where it is now, this thing is night and day. And people have mentioned it before. I know it's kind of like an ongoing theme with the channel here and things that I always say on social media. It looks like two different bikes, but it's actually the same exact original bike that I bought. All right, let's do something fun and talk about performance. Let's go. Talk about performance. Yeah, so not only have I done a lot of cosmetic work, I have done a crap load of performance work. Again, to the point where the only other thing I could do is either add some sort of forced induction or break open the motor and do some lower end piston work and cams and stuff like that. So that is where I'm at. I'm going to talk about each piece individually while I round the airport here and head for some back roads. Let's go. Alright, so I am going to start with suspension. I think anyone who rides a stock Spyder minus the touring versions can say that the stock Spyder suspension is pretty soft. You can't really throw it into corners or anything like that. It really kind of shuts down on you, and I get it. It's for comfort, it's for the general rider and all of that, but for those of us that really want to get a little bit more out of it, you got to swap out the stock suspension. So I did a lot of research, and I know a lot of guys, they will go with the Elka shocks, and that seems to be the go-to shock for everybody. One, it's a direct replacement. Nothing else you got to do. You replace it, boom, done. You can just start riding. I did a little bit more advanced setup here. I went with the M2 shocks. You see I've got a couple videos on that. I did an install video and then a review video on that. It is a complete coilover, fully customizable, built to your spec shock. I'm catching one. Finally caught one. So what do I mean when I say built to your spec? So I literally filled out a form, sent it to the guy, and said, hey, this is the type of riding that I do and the type of performance that I would like out of the Spyder. And he took that, he did a bunch of math, and spec'd out the shocks and the springs and all of that for that type of riding, and it is absolutely amazing. And not only that, with these M2 shocks, and I show it in my the two videos that I posted links to up there, they're fully adjustable. I can adjust the preload, which also does the ride height, and you can adjust the dampness on the shocks, so stiffen. So not only that, whatever different type of riding that you want to do for the day, you could change your setup in the garage and you're good to go. The other most recent mod that I've done, that I'm sure those of you who follow the channel, which you should be following me, especially if you're watching this, go down, hit that red button, do all the fun subscribing YouTube stuff, and check out all my cool stuff in the description. Might have something cool down there for you guys to save some money on some cool apparel. But yeah, I did a Bajaron swaybar, and that, in conjunction with the M2 suspension, has made this thing handle on rails. It is absolutely amazing, the handling that I'm getting now. And I think part of the reason was, one, probably the stock swaybar was on it. I don't want to say probably, it was. Bushings get worn out, things like that. Over time, just, you know, those things just get worn out. You got to replace them anyway. So I could have gained something alone just by changing the bushings out, but I changed out the whole thing, and it's crazy. It's such a different ride. I'm not forcing it into corners anymore. I'm not fighting it on corner exit while I'm under throw. Whoa, I didn't even try. I'm gonna get into that in a minute, but yeah, it's such a smooth ride with the suspension and the swaybar. It's a totally different machine. Another thing I did on my own was I made my own custom intake. They don't make intakes for this year's Spyder, or if they did, they don't make them anymore or anything like that. So basically, I'll throw a pic up here. Slapped a cone filter on the end of a tube. I extended that tube after I took out all the other plastics and resonators and all that from the stock intake. Extended that out, found a spot where the airflow comes in, put a cone filter on it. No problems at all. No check engine lights, no nothing. I got some better throttle response out of it, so that definitely helped out a little bit. And also, what I've recently done was I've done a full RLS exhaust from the header back, because I've deleted the cat. No more cats, delete! So yeah, full exhaust, wide open. Ah man, it is so, the sound is great. It sounds so much better. The response and the smoothness, especially down low with the torque, is crazy. As you guys saw there, I tried to pull out from that light, wasn't even trying, and it just spun up the tire a little bit. So that, in conjunction with the tune, I have a Power Commander 5, and my tuning is being done by BLR Tuning. Bill is great. He's been totally responsive with all my mods, everything I want to change. He's wicked good at just responding to my email saying, hey, I've added this part. He goes, okay, cool, give me some time. Sends me the new tune, I pop it in, and I'm good to go. So, and you also got to understand, as far as performance goes, you can't just add parts and not do a tune because sometimes that doesn't work. You might be able to add on a slip-on muffler and be good, but if you really want to get into it, I highly suggest getting tuned first. It totally changes the way the bike responds, the responsiveness, the power that you get down low, especially with the 998 motors. They are a very high revving motor, and by design, they don't really make power under 5,000 RPM. Their power band is from 5,000 to 9,000 for the most part. But now by deleting the cats, freeing up the exhaust, freeing up the intake, and doing that tune from Bill, I've got a lot more grunt and torque down low, where I can just cruise around town and not have to really worry about what gear I'm in or have to really rev this thing out to get to where I'm going. And that's really what it's all about. It's all about finding the functionality that works for you and your style of riding, and tailor your bike or your Spyder to that. And the reason why I say that is there are some anti-mod people out there. There are some people like, oh, leave it alone. It's stock. It comes from the factory like that for a reason, blah, blah, blah. The reason it comes from the factory the way it is because of laws and regulations and all that stuff. Believe me, if there was none of that going on, we would see some amazing vehicles, bikes, and all that crazy stuff, on the road, and it would be, I wanted to say it would be an absolute nightmare. It might be a nightmare, but it would just be an absolute cluster out there of, all these crazy ass machines. It would probably just turn into the Honda trike fiasco of the 80s, if anyone even knows what I'm talking about there. So, there you go. Let's talk more about Spyder mods. It's wicked exciting, and I just want to be able to pass the knowledge that I have and the things that I've experienced while modding this Spyder over the past 3 years to you guys. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me a comment. Down in my description, I have all my contact info, including my Discord server, which it's a much better way to directly contact with me if I'm available. We'll be able to chat back and forth in real time. This guy's just stopping in the middle of the road here. Yeah. And while you're down there in the description, do the YouTube stuff that I talked about earlier. If you like what I'm doing, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it, tell all your friends. Share it onto the Spyder forums, all of that, Facebook groups. I would greatly appreciate that. And I appreciate all my viewers, all my subscribers. And I've got some cool discount codes for you guys if you want to go down and see what I got for some apparel, some Blackphoenix merchandise, and some Lucha. I'm thinking about wrestling already. Lunafide stuff down there. They got some awesome stuff. They got something for everybody, honestly. So I'd be hard pressed to see if you guys they don't have something for everybody. So it is now, with all that rambling, that time of the vlog. I've got to end it, but I want you guys to rock with the flock. And again, I appreciate everybody's support. Really, it makes it a lot of fun to do this, to come out here on a nice day and just ride and talk to you guys about Spyder stuff or anything else that's going on, random rides, judge my riding, pro wrestling stories that I've started, all that fun stuff. So anyways, I'll see you guys on the next one. Rock with the flock.